Greetings! Everyone you've ever met is from this planet. Even my old boss. People say to me, what's your favorite planet? They want me to say Saturn or Pluto. But I say Earth. It's Earth all the way. So we're right here at sunset, at twilight. If you can look at the Earth from space and see nothing but the ultraviolet light, this is what it looks like. Now the ultraviolet light falls on the ocean also, but putting it just on the land makes it easier to understand. So where it is dark, the ultraviolet is intense. Where it's less dark, it's less intense. So how many people here are not from Las Vegas? How many people here are from Africa? How many people here are from Mesopotamia? How about Asia? How about Tibet? Alaska? North America? South America? Now take a look at this. Everybody started out in Africa. Everybody you've ever met is really ultimately from Africa. Migrated north into Mesopotamia, migrated and discovered wheat, started having cities, building pyramids, going crazy. Then people got restless. They go east. They go east into Asia. They go south into what is now India. They go across Siberia. There's an ice age. All the water's frozen up. In the mountains in the summertime, you can walk from Siberia to Sarah Palin's house. And then you walk down North America on the west coast all the way into South America. Now take a look at this. You look at your skin color. Take a look at the color of your skin. The color of your skin is intimately connected to the ultraviolet light. The more ultraviolet light there is, the darker your skin has to be, or your folic acids break down and you don't do well. If your skin is not dark enough, the ultraviolet will damage you. If it's not light enough, you won't get enough vitamin D. We are one people. Everyone you've ever met is the same. There is no such thing as race. We are all one human race. And that is not magic, my friends. That's science. As you know, this festival was held 2 years ago. It was held a month from now. And it was too hot. Anybody here 2 years ago? Because the world's climate is part of the bigger problem that we're all going to have to deal with. The world's climate is changing. So please, consider the following.
Okay.
Everybody you've ever met eats food. I'm not joking. And our food ultimately comes from plants. Even if all you eat is meat, you eat meat that ate plants. So we need an atmosphere that can support plants. We need irrigation systems that can support farms. And it's important to remember that farming is not natural. Farming is what humans do so that we can have a lot of humans.
Yep.
And by the way, no matter what any of us does, the earth is going to be here. The earth's going to be fine. What we want to do is preserve the earth and the earth's climate for me, for us, the human race. So the reason the world's climate is changing is twofold. There's two reasons. The first reason I like to call reason number one. I came up with that myself. When I was 9 years old, my family went to the World's Fair in New York City. New York, New York, the town's so nice they named it twice. And the United Nations had a total board of the number of people on Earth. And it had just changed from 2,999,999,999 people on Earth to 3 billion people when I was a kid in elementary school. Today, there are 7.6 billion people in the world. And by the time, and most of them are here, and by the time you all are my age, there's going to be 9 or even 10 billion people. And that's it, you guys. There's 10 or 9 billion people all trying to make a living on the planet. And then reason number 2 is that our planet is fitted with an atmosphere. By the way, our planet is round. You need anybody here who insists it's flat.
Oh, I love it.
Cut back on the mollies.
Way to just slip that in there. What the fuck?
But if you look at the Earth from space, the atmosphere is extraordinarily thin. If we had some amazing car that could drive straight up on some amazing road, you could drive for an hour at highway speed and be in outer space. Coming here on the access road, it would 2.5 hours. You'd be in outer space. And that's it, you guys. There's 7.6 billion people trying to breathe and burn an atmosphere that's only as thick as the varnish on a classroom globe. And that's why the world's climate is changing. So what should we do? Should we run in circles screaming? No! No! You and I together are going to, dare I say it, change the world. Woo! There's 3 things we want for everybody on Earth. The first thing we find just a few kilometers, a few miles from here at Hoover Dam. We want clean water for everyone in the world. Clean water enables us to have health. People ask me, I've had journalists ask me over the years, what's the most important invention of humankind? And they want me to say light shows or smartphones. No, I think the biggest invention really was a sewer. Without sewers, you really don't, it's really unpleasant. So we want clean water for everybody. Clean water also enables us to have agriculture and farm food and parties like this. Then the second thing we want, you can also see at Hoover Dam at night, we want electricity, renewably produced electricity for everybody in the world, renewable and reliable. If you drive around here, you will see miles and miles, kilometers, hectares, acres and acres of solar panels, along with the hydroelectric systems at Hoover Dam. We can do this. There is enough wind and sunlight in North America to run the whole place right now, if we just decided to do it. Then if you could do one thing, one magic wand, Harry Potter thing about climate change, you would raise the standard of living of women and girls.
Woo! My voice.
And to do that, we need to provide education to everybody. Everybody in every village, every tribe, every city, every rural area, every farm, every ag business, everywhere. And we can do it. We can do it because of our technology. The idea is to run landlines into, say, the middle of Africa. That'd be very, very difficult. But what we're going to do is have a constellation, as we call it, of spacecraft orbiting at a relatively low altitude, and we will hand the internet access from one satellite to another the same way we hand mobile phones from one person to another. We can do this, everybody. Clean water, renewable electricity, access to the internet for everybody in the world. And while we're doing that, I remind you that it's not a case of doing one thing and not the other thing. It's not a case of paying teacher salaries or building a new football stadium. You gotta do both. You gotta do everything all at once. And I submit to you there are 2 questions that everyone is asked. And if you meet somebody who says he or she has never asked this question, they're lying to you. They're lying to your face, as we say in middle school. Where did we come from? And are we alone in the universe? And if you want to answer those 2 questions, you have to explore space. Now everybody, I'm so old. How old are you? I'm a mechanical engineer. I finished my mechanical engineering requirements and I took one course from a famous astronomer named Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan was on The Tonight Show before Jimmy Fallon, before Jay Leno, with Johnny Carson. And he presented this idea of a spacecraft pushed through space by light, just sunlight. Although light has no mass, it has momentum. Those lights behind you are pushing on you ever so slightly. And this was a cool idea. The government support for this mission to Comet Holiday was abandoned. So he started the Planetary Society in 1980. I joined. I'm a charter member. I got a letter in the mail. For those of you unfamiliar with this, a letter was a plant-based information storage technology that would come to your house every day. I joined. Carl Sagan's kids watched the Science Guy show. And then I was asked to join the board of directors. At one of the board of directors meetings, I left the room. The other people took a vote, and now I'm the CEO of the Planetary Society. So I encourage you all to check us out at planetary.org. So last year I was on Stephen Colbert with a different model of a different solar sail spacecraft, and we are going to launch it again on the 22nd of June. After you leave here, come on down to Orlando, then drive the rest of the way to the Space Coast. We're going to be on the third Falcon Heavy rocket, the third one ever launched. And if you've never been to one of these things, it is spectacular. It's just like,
oh!
Yeah, it's like that. The thing goes up and over the top, it disappears. Two flames emerge way up in the sky, and these boosters land like helicopters. So this time we're going to go to a higher orbit. The spacecraft has all kinds of electricity because it's got solar panels on it. If you guys are the sun, you push me back, twist in space, push me back, and we build orbital energy and change the angle. It is a way to make spaceflight cheaper, to democratize it so that we can answer the two questions. Where did we come from, and are we alone? Here's the picture we took of Light Sail 1 4 years ago. We're going to get far more spectacular pictures because there's 62,000 people around the world like you who think that space exploration is cool. So when I was in 3rd grade, Mrs. Cochran told us, oh, here's the light sail. People from all over the world send us their pictures, their selfies. We put them on a ceramic CD and we fly them in space. Check us out at planetary.org. You can be part of the next mission. You can go to our website and look at everybody's picture, just like here, only different. So here's a picture from space. Mrs. Cochran, my 3rd grade teacher, told us there are more stars in the sky than grains of sand on the beach. And I remember thinking, I mean, I wouldn't have expressed it this way, but I remember thinking, Mrs. Cochran, are you high? Have you ever been to a beach? There are a lot of stars, but get this, people, there are more stars than there are grains of sand on the earth. And I hope that gives you pause for thought. Furthermore, you and I, everyone you've ever met, is made of the stuff, the dust of exploded stars. So when we have an EDC like this, it's really a galactic, a cosmic celebration. Now when you look at this picture, I hope you can see the Earth. It's right there. It looks like a lot of the other dots, but it's our dot. So after Mrs. Cochran told me this, I went to the beach in Delaware, the first state, the Diamond State, the land of pleasant living. And I remember thinking, really, I'm no different from the grains of sand. I mean, if you're in outer space looking down here at the Earth, you're not going to see any of us. You're not going to see me. You're not going to see the sand. It's just a dot, just a speck in space. So I started to feel insignificant. I started to feel like, I didn't matter at all. Like I'm just a speck standing on these grains of sand, which are specks, which are in turn part of the earth, which is just a speck. I'm a speck. Standing on a bunch of specks, which is part of a speck, with a bunch of other specks in the middle of specklessness. I suck! But then I realized that with our brains, which are only this big, of course my old boss's brain was a lot smaller, but with your brain, which is just big, this big, you can know all of this. We can know our place in space, our place in the cosmos. We can understand that we're changing the climate. Just think what the world would be like if we had floods and droughts and severe storms and we didn't know what was happening, but we do. And with our brains, we can provide clean water, reliable electricity, renewably produced and access to the internet, racist and living growth for everyone in the world. So my fellow EDCians, let's have a good party for the next couple days and working together